Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bishop. It's the Tier 5 British SPG, and we're located on the east spawn of Fjords, and the name of the commander is Gladius Escutum 85. Now, Gladius Escutum means sword and shield. Not sure why, but it is in Latin anyway. And we can see that he's got one mark of excellence on his barrel, so he's actually quite a good player. And we know the Bishop is actually designed on the Valentine hull, 4.5 pounder gun. Sorry, 4.5 inch gun I should say, not 4.5 pounder, but it's a very slow tank. It's a walking tank. You see the Valentine chassis and the corrugated engine cover. Now, the Bishop with a gun lane drive and a rammer is actually quite a good arty. It's got a very fast fire rate and is very accurate, but it's also got a very short range, and that's one of the unfortunate things about the Bishop. You have to get close to your target, otherwise you can't hit it. And you can see he can only reach as far as he is right now, as far as those rocks. So he's not really going to reach the enemy unless he goes down in this dip area, because this will be a nice safe area to fire from. Okay, he's now extended his aim, and now he can hit those enemy, but they're hiding behind the rock. It's a Skoda T24. He's dialing in, wants to get an accurate shot. Oh, there's the T34. Better target. Oh, lovely shot right onto the engine bay, and he's got to fire straight away. It was an automatic fire extinguisher went off because the fire stopped immediately after it burned. Fires around at the KV-1S, gets a direct hit. And he's got a large number of hit points from that one shot. The KV-1S is moved into a position but he can still be hit. Going for the engine bay. Oh, gets a good hit on the engine bay. 168 hit points. Lining him up for another shot, so he's tracked as well. He's loaded, rounds out. Another direct hit, 86 hit points. The KV-1S goes down, so he picks up the damage assistance on the track. Now he can get a good shot here on the Tiger 1 and the KV-2R. Going for the KV-2-1R there first. Now it lands next door to him, but it wasn't close enough. You don't get much splash from the 4.5 inch gun, but he's going for both of them at the same time here. And he gets a lovely hit there on the KV-2R, 143 hit points. Going for the Tiger 1 now. Can he get a shot? They're moving forward, which makes it very difficult. Fires around where he thinks it's going to be. It lands just behind the the Tiger 1. Going for the P43 Biz, who's hanging out near the water, and he's stationary. Round out. Direct hit, wipes him out. 151 hit points, his first kill. And now he's got 3 targets to choose from. He's going for the KV-1S first. He hasn't hit that one before. Gets a direct hit, 104 hit points. Going for the Tiger 1 again. They're pulling forward. Going for the KV-2 this time. Round out. Direct hit, 104 hit points right on the front. Maybe the driver. That KV-2's not moving. Oh, he is now. Round out. A little late. It went behind. The KV-1S is hiding behind the Tiger. I think we're losing defenders around the corner. That T-34-85 just needs to hold them there so that Gladius Escutum can do the necessary on them. They are pulling forward though. This is the worry. If they pull forward too far, the T-34 might have to pull back. Fires around in, it hits the rock face. Now he's pulling back to see exactly where the T-34-85 has gone. He's hiding behind the buildings. Okay, so he's going to go and change position, going after the T-34-85 on the pass area. And the T-34-85 goes down. The shell would have hit him for sure, because the shell hit the wreck directly afterwards. That AMX is out of reach. The Tiger 1 has come through the gap, so's the KV-1S. The T-34-85 is hiding on the S. Oh, he's fallen in the water! He's fallen in the water! And he's going to drown. I don't think he's going to make it out in time, or has he? Well, he's trying to hold on. He's desperately trying to hold on. But in the meantime, Gladius gets a hit into the Tiger 1, who is was tracked. And we're trying another round at the Tiger 1. It's going to be a little late. KV2 is trying to kill that T-34, but he's being hit. And he's been hit again by Arty. And that's a kill shot. 5 hit points. But I'm sure the T-3485 is going to be very happy about that. But the problem is that Tiger 1's on his way this way. And unfortunately, Gladius has got a very slow tank. Very slow Arty, I should say. And he's got to try and run away to a hiding place before that Tiger gets here. And I'm worried that that Tiger is going to creep up behind him. Oh, is he there? Well, he's got into hiding. But he's got to remember that Tiger is going to head this way. Now, the one good thing that the Bishop can do is it can shotgun. It can shotgun very effectively. I know because I've done it. I've actually shotgunned heavy tanks with my Bishop. I once took out a T1 Heavy. I shot him in the face twice. And that Tiger 1 goes down. He's been taken out. So that threat's gone down. It was the T-3485 that got him. The one that fell in the water. Which is surprising, really. So he didn't die when he fell in the water. But we're just too far away from that Panzer IV-H to put a shell in at the moment. And we don't need to worry because the Panzer IV-H was taken out by our Crusader. Who happens to be on Little Italy, the peninsula. So, the scores at the moment. 6-4 in terms of numbers left. 11-9 is the score. Well, most of the enemy Arty are still alive, but there's still one light tank on the enemy team, and that's the AMX 1375. There he is. And we almost splashed him there. He was splashed by that round. We're trying to get another round into him. We're loaded. Fire a round in, and 32 hit points from a splash. And that's amazing, because normally you don't get that much in the way of splash from a Bishop's gun. We've lost sight of the 1375. As I say, it was the tanks, the KV-1S, who was spotting for him. But we've lost sight of him now. And that's a bit of a worry, because he could be headed in this direction. And Gladius is going into the bushes. If he can, to try and get a shot on the AMX before he turns up. The AMX has gone back to the enemy cap area, or to his cap area, and he's just taken out our KV-1S, who was capping. Now we've lost sight of him. He was headed south, I believe, and the T-29's moving up on the cap. And that T-29's got very, very low health. And he's found the enemy Arty, one of them, the Gorilla. And just hope that T-29 doesn't get shotgunned. Well, he's destroyed the Gorilla. But unfortunately, he's been killed by the Lorraine 15550. So at least we know where the Lorraine 15550 is, and hopefully one of our other Arty will take him out. Now we're going to go down this alleyway. This should give us a little bit of cover from the AMX. But I expect that AMX will be coming down this way very, very shortly. Because if he was headed south, he was probably going to come out either at this pass or the next one long. Probably this pass. Oh, there he is! Oh my god, he's so close! Tries a shotgun, misses! And, oh dear, we've been tracked. And it's inevitable we're going to get killed, but will our own teammates be able to kill him? Go for a second shotgun. Oh, he killed him! He killed him! So we lost some health from the AMX 1375, 120 hit points. Arty versus Arty, and they've got one less than we have. Our Gorilla's making his way towards the enemy cap. The Crusader's staying on the island. He's actually telling us he's reloading. 22 seconds to go. And that's something that I always do. As an Arty player, I always let my team know how long I've got before the next shot. It's vitally important to actually do that, so they can see exactly how long it's going to be before they can get some support from you. I also try to tell my team which tank I'm attacking at any one time. It puts the arrows above a tank, which draws the fire from other teammates and allows us to immobilize that tank, that target, before I kill him. But it actually can be very useful for telling teammates we are listening to what they want. They want fire support, they'll press the T key, we respond with the T key, and then they know that we're watching what they want and we're responding to it. Now that Lorraine was over in the northwest corner, and we've been spotted, so the Lorraine must be nearby. He's in those bushes. We fire a round in, and another round goes in, and a tree goes down, but that might be just from the shell. Oh, he's going to go down the cliff, and he's headed towards the enemy, and somebody from the enemy team is in the cap. So the Crusader will be watching to try and work out and fire at the enemy Arty if he's over here. Of course, he might not be over here. There he is, it's the Fifi. Oh my god, he's very, very, very close. But he's hiding behind the rock. There he is. And he shotguns him. 13 hit points, but it's enough. Oh, the Lorraines managed to get a solution on us and fired from the other end of the map. In fact, actually, it looks like the Lorraine might be on the peninsula near the Crusader. So the Guerrilla is headed back to our own cap. And Gladius at Scutum actually apologises to his own team for getting killed. I don't think you need to worry. You managed to get 4 kills. And there is the Lorraine. He is on the island. And he's just wiped out our Crusader. And he's actually been killed by the Guerrilla. So well played, the Guerrilla. He actually managed to win the game by taking out the last enemy, the Lorraine 15550. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an ace tanker for Gladius at Scutum 85 in the Bishop. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting 4 kills. And he also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 8 in that battle. So pretty good go altogether. A win 8 for that battle is 9277. That's Super Unicum level standard. And if we look at the team scores, we can see that he's right at the top of the table, 1,858 hit points, highest score, but it wasn't enough to get the high caliber, unfortunately. You needed 20% of the enemy hit points to get that. But the next high score was the T-3485. He did manage to get a lucky, and the Crusader managed to get a Confederate after all that. When it came to number of kills, Gladius at Scutum was highest with 4. The VK3002M managed to get 3, and the Guerrilla, who stayed alive right to the end, he managed to get 2. The highest score overall was actually the Lorraine 15550. He managed to get 5 kills in total, so he did exceptionally well to get those 5 kills. But it was unfortunate that when he attacked the Crusader, he gave away his position, and the Guerrilla was able to take him out and win the game. So let's have a look at base XP. Well, Gladius at Scutum came second when it came to base XP. The T-3485M, he managed to get 1,067 base experience points. He also picked up that lucky, as I say. But Gladius at Scutum managed to get 963, followed by the Guerrilla with 676. Highest score on the enemy team was the AMX 1375. And I really honestly thought that AMX 1375 was going to kill Gladius when he actually managed to get behind him and start pumping rounds into his rear, but he made the fatal error of then driving around the Bishop and allowed Gladius a second shotgun shot, and this time round he did not miss. He took out that 1375 and made absolutely certain of the kill. And of course, never get in front of a Bishop. If you can, try and get behind him, because at least then you can shoot him in his rear. But if you do get in front of him, then you have a good chance of being taken out by that gun at close range. So let's have a look at the detailed. Well, he fired 24 rounds, got 13 direct hits, 13 penetration, 7 splash. Damage of 1,858 hit points, of which 1,426 are at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, both from the AMX 1375. One was a penetration, one was a non-penetration, and he received one hit as a result of splash damage, and that was, of course, the one that finished him off, the one from the Lorraine. He did manage to spot one enemy vehicle. That was the 105 FH-18B2, the Fifi La Pew Pew. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and he did damage assistance of 566 hit points. On a standard account, he earned 26,961 credits, which is a huge amount, really. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and the ammunition's very cheap for this particular Arty, he still took away 18,821 credits. He would have taken away 32,302 if he'd actually had a premium account, so nearly double. He earned 963 base XP, and he had a personal reserves bonus going for 100%, so he took away 1,926 experience points altogether. So a particularly good round there by Gladius et Scutum in the Bishop. In fact, he was very, very accurate on some of his shots. He allowed the aim to dial in perfectly. He was actually selecting where he was going to put the shell on the enemy tank. And in many cases, he was aiming for the engine deck of those heavies, which is the best place because it's more than likely going to get an engine fire. And he did get engine fires on the enemy on at least 2 occasions. But unfortunately, both tanks did not burn to death, so he didn't pick up the Arsonist award. But an ace tanker is still very, very welcome. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.